Okay, let's unpack this. Tropical Storm Dexter. Probably heard the name by now, maybe even seen some headlines, wrongly calling it a hurricane. There's just a lot of chatter, a lot of noise out there.
There really is.
So our mission for this deep dive is to cut through all that. We want to understand Dexter's real status, yes, but also dig into its unexpected backstory.
Right.
And show how it fits into the bigger picture of this 2025 hurricane season. We've gathered the latest official advisories, articles, researched the works, to give you the full picture.
What's fascinating here is just how dynamic these weather systems are.
Yeah.
And how, early information can sometimes be incomplete or even a bit misleading. That's exactly why a deep dive like this is so crucial, especially when you're trying to sort through conflicting reports.
Absolutely. So let's dive into Dexter right now. The immediate status as of this morning, August 4th.
Okay.
It actually formed pretty late on Sunday, August 3rd. It came from what was previously Invest 95L.
Right, the area they were watching.
Exactly. And for you listening, Invest just means it's an area of interest they're investigating for potential development. This one popped up from a low-pressure area just kind of sitting there along a stalled front.
Between the Outer Banks and Bermuda, roughly.
Yeah, about 300 miles northwest of Bermuda. It only really became a tropical storm once it got those thunderstorms going consistently and managed to break free from that front.
Got it. Separated itself.
And if you're looking at the map this morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Dexter's position is, latitude 34.6 north, longitude 68.3 west. So roughly 250 to 300 miles northwest of Bermuda.
Okay.
It's moving east-northeast at about 12 mile per hour. Winds are 45 mile per hour sustained.
Not too strong then.
No, relatively weak for a tropical storm. And those tropical storm force winds extend out about 115 miles from the center.
So what on its strength and future? What's the bottom line for you?
Yeah.
The key thing is, Dexter is not expected to become a hurricane. Remember, that needs 74 mile per hour sustained winds or higher.
Right. Big difference.
Huge difference. Forecasts only show it maybe strengthening a tiny bit to around 50 mile per hour by Tuesday. And the reason it won't get stronger, it's heading towards increasing wind shear, like 20-30 knots.
Ah, the storm killer.
Pretty much. That plus cooler sea surface temperatures. So it's likely to become post-tropical by Wednesday or Thursday, August 6th or 7th.
Meaning it loses its tropical characteristics.
Exactly. It'll transform into more of a regular mid-latitude storm. Still could have impacts, mind you, but technically not tropical anymore. So that term, Hurricane Dexter, just plain wrong.
Good to clarify.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And impacts-wise, no coastal watches or warnings are up. It's not expected to hit land directly.
Okay, that's good news.
It is. But for you on the coast, it could still cause high surf and dangerous rip currents. Think U.S. East Coast, Florida, all the way up to Massachusetts and also around Bermuda for the next few days.
So boaters, shipping interests need to keep an eye out.
Absolutely. Anyone with maritime interests in the Western Atlantic should be monitoring conditions closely.
But Dexter's story, it's not just about this storm, is it? Here's where it gets really interesting.
The backstory.
Yes, because this name, Dexter, it almost came up earlier this season, tied to a completely different system that, it packed a punch without ever actually getting named.
Invest 93L.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Back in mid-July, the NHC was watching this other low off Florida's east coast, Invest 93L. At one point, it had a 40% chance of becoming Dexter.
Right, I remember that one.
It took quite a journey, didn't it? Move west, right across Florida, then into the Gulf of Mexico. That was around July 14th to 17th. And just as a side note, some sources were calling it the Gulf of America then, due to that naming change from President Trump. We're just reporting that neutrally, of course.
Understood.
But regardless of the name, that system brought some serious rain. We're talking 4 to 8 inches in places like Central Florida, Southern Louisiana, Southwest Mississippi, Eastern Texas.
That's a lot of water.
Get this, Plant City, Florida, 10 inches of rain in just 4 hours. Yeah, they called it a 1 in 200 to 500 year event. Caused major flash flooding risks. Coastal Louisiana too, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, they saw moderate to high flood risks with similar rain totals. Really shows how fast things can go bad, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, and it highlights a crucial point, doesn't it? The name, or lack thereof, isn't the whole story.
Exactly.
That earlier system, 93L, it's a vital lesson in preparedness. Its development chances actually dropped, remember, down to 30% by July 17th because it got disorganized. It never became a named storm.
Right.
But look at the impacts. So the question for you is, how vital is it to grasp that even non-tropical systems, these unnamed invests, can cause severe problems, especially heavy rain and flooding? You don't need the label hurricane or even tropical storm for danger.
Such an important point.
Yeah.
And that leads us nicely to the people and the tech behind the scenes, right? The ones who help us understand these things, named or not.
Absolutely. The architects of understanding, you could say.
I like that.
At the heart of it all is the National Hurricane Center, the NHC, down in Miami. They're part of NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Okay.
Their whole job is tracking and forecasting tropical cyclones, hurricanes, tropical storms in the Atlantic and the Eastern Pacific. They're the official source for advisories, outlooks, marine forecasts. It's all on their website, nhc.noaa.gov.
And they use some pretty sophisticated tools, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. Really advanced stuff. You've got the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, those planes flying into the storms, incredible data they get.
Grave crews on those flights.
Definitely. Then there are the computer models. People call them spaghetti models sometimes.
Yeah, you see those plots with all the lines.
Right. But it's important for you to know, the NHC doesn't just use all of them blindly. They focus on the top 4 or 5 most reliable ones for their official forecast track.
Ah, okay. Good distinction.
And of course, satellites are huge. NOAA's Hurricane Tracker gives you amazing satellite views, sea surface temps, all feeding into those forecast models.
And they've got some new things this year too, right, for 2025?
They do, really trying to improve communication for you. They now have Spanish language products, which is great. There's an experimental forecast cone graphic that actually shows inland watches and warnings, not just coastal.
Oh, that's useful.
Very. And a RIP current risk map specifically activated during tropical systems. It's all about getting actionable info out there.
So just to recap the basics for everyone, what exactly is a tropical cyclone?
Good question. Fundamentally, it's a rotating storm system. It needs a closed, low-level circulation forming over those warm tropical or subtropical waters.
And then it ramps up.
Exactly. It starts as a depression. Then once sustained winds hit 39 mile per hour up to 73 mile per hour, it becomes a tropical storm, like Dexter.
Yeah.
If those winds reach 74 mile per hour or higher, then it's classified as a hurricane. And just for your global context, these same types of storms are called typhoons in the Northwest Pacific or cyclones in the South Pacific and Indian Ocean. Different names, same phenomenon.
It's fascinating how these massive storms actually get started. So how do they form, generally? And how did Dexter specifically fit into that?
Well, there are several ways they can spin up. A really common one, especially later in the season, is from tropical waves. Those disturbances rolling off the coast of Africa.
Like the one they're watching now.
Precisely. But another way, often earlier in the season, or like Dexter, is from stalled frontal boundaries. That's exactly how Dexter got going. It butted off that lingering front.
Interesting. What else?
You can also get them from monsoonal troughs or gyres. Those are sort of large-scale, low-pressure zones. Sometimes upper-level lows can transition down and become warm-core tropical systems, or even from big clusters of thunderstorms, what we call mesoscale convective systems, if they get organized enough over warm water.
But they all need the right ingredients, right?
Absolutely critical conditions. You need that warm ocean water, generally above 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 26.5 Celsius. You need low wind shear, meaning the wind isn't changing much speed or direction as you go up, so the storm can build vertically without being torn apart. Okay.
And you need plenty of moisture in the atmosphere. Those were pretty much the conditions that allowed Dexter to form where and when it did.
Got it. So that brings us to the bigger picture then. How does Dexter fit into this whole 2025 Atlantic hurricane season?
Right. The context.
The season runs June 1st to November 30th, officially. And so far, we've had 4 named storms. There was Andrea back on June 24th, Barry on June 29th, Chantal on July 5th, and now Dexter, August 3rd.
4 storms.
4 storms. But in terms of pacing, it's been odd. These storms have been pretty short-lived. The overall energy, what they call accumulated cyclone energy, or ACE.
A measure of intensity and duration combined.
Right. That's actually 85% below normal right now. It's a really slow start in terms of actual storm power, the slowest in maybe 15, 20 years.
Wow, 85% below normal.
Yeah. And here's the twist. The 4th named storm doesn't typically form until around August 15th. And the first hurricane usually shows up by August 11th.
So we're actually ahead of schedule on names. Exactly. Despite them being weak, we've had more named storms earlier than average. That ACE value for the first 3 storms was just 2.5. could be a record low. It's this weird paradox.
That is strange. Ahead on count, way behind on energy. So what were the preseason forecasts saying?
Good question. NOAA predicted, I think, 13 to 19 named storms for the whole season.
Okay, so potentially a lot more to come.
Right. And Colorado State University, CSU, they predicted up to 16 named storms, including 8 hurricanes and 3 major ones, Category 3 or higher.
And we're just now entering the peak, right?
Yeah, August through mid-September is historically the busiest time. September 10th is the sort of climatological peak day.
So why the predictions for an active season despite the slow energy start? What are the driving factors supposed to be?
Well, the main driver is usually those sea surface temperatures. They're expected to peak maybe around 29 Celsius, 84 Fahrenheit. That's like 1.5 Celsius above average in some key areas. Lots of fuel.
Okay, warm oceans.
Plus, potentially reduced wind shear, especially in that main development region off Africa. And a more active West African monsoon pushing those tropical waves out.
Makes sense. More waves, warmer water, less recipe for storms.
There's also talk the Madden-Julian oscillation, that big global weather pattern, might help boost activity later by maybe suppressing some of that dry Saharan air that can choke off storms.
Right, the SL.
And we're in a neutral ESO phase right now.
Yeah.
No strong El Nino or La Nina, which would sometimes mean more Atlantic activity.
And the climate change connection?
Yeah, you have to mention it. Yeah. Studies show human-caused climate change has made these really warm ocean conditions something like 400 times more likely.
Wow.
Which definitely provides more potential fuel. But as we saw in June and July, it's not the only factor. We had a lot of African dust and high wind shear that really put a lid on intensity then.
And cooler Caribbean waters too, you mentioned.
Yeah, that also played a part in keeping things weaker so far. It's complex.
It really is, not just one factor.
So putting Dexter in context, it's this low-impact kind of high-latitude system. It really stands in stark contrast to some recent seasons, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Think back to 2020, 30 named storms. Just relentless.
Unbelievable seasons.
Or even just last year, 2024. Hurricanes Helene and Milton alone caused over $113 billion in damage.
Just staggering numbers. It shows the huge range from relatively minor Dexter to those catastrophic storms. No two seasons are the same.
Never.
So, besides Dexter, what else is the NHC keeping an eye on right now, as we speak, August 4th? And what should you be thinking about for the rest of the season?
Okay, good heads up. Besides Dexter, they're tracking a few other areas. First, out in the central tropical Atlantic, there's that tropical wave we mentioned off Africa.
Right.
It's got about a 50% chance, a medium chance of becoming a tropical depression later this week. It's moving northwestward, but no immediate threat to land right now.
Okay, anything closer?
Yes. Second, they're watching for a low-pressure system to form a few hundred miles off the southeast U.S. coast. That has a lower chance, maybe 30%, of developing mid to late week.
And that could bring rain where?
Potentially heavy rain to the Carolinas, Georgia, maybe Virginia, even if it doesn't fully develop into a tropical system. Again, echoes of 93L.
Right, the rain threat.
And third, there are a couple of other tropical waves way down in the Caribbean moving west, but nothing expected to develop from those immediately.
Gotcha. And quickly, on the name Dexter, it's a new one this year.
It is, yeah. It replaced Dorian on the list.
Dorian. 2019.
Exactly. Category 5 in the Bahamas. Just devastating. Killed 74 people, caused over $4.6 billion in damage. So the World Meteorological Organization, the WMO, retired that name.
Understandable.
They maintain these rotating lists of names. After Dexter, the next ones up are Aaron and Fernand.
And I have to ask, seen any of the TV show Dexter jokes online?
Yes, seen a few on X. Just a bit of public commentary. Obviously not factual weather sources.
Right, important distinction. So that brings us back full circle to preparedness. What's the key advice for you, the listener?
It really boils down to being proactive. Don't wait. For you, this means getting that emergency kit ready now.
What goes in it again?
Non-perishable food, plenty of water, any medications you need, flashlights, batteries, a weather radio battery-powered or hand-cranked.
Okay.
Know your evacuation zone and have a plan for where you'd go. Websites like floridadisaster.org are great resources for that kind of info.
Home prep, too.
Definitely. If you have storm shutters, make sure they work. Trim back trees near your house. Secure loose items outdoors, patio furniture, trash cans. They become missiles in high winds.
Good point. Insurance.
Crucial. Check your homeowner's policy now, make sure you have enough coverage, and critically remember flood insurance. It's usually separate.
Right.
And there's typically a 30-day waiting period before it takes effect, so you absolutely cannot wait until a storm is approaching.
30 days, that's key.
Very key. And stay informed. Monitor the NHC advisories. Their X account at NHC Atlantic is excellent for quick updates. Use NOAA's Hurricane Tracker, reliable local weather apps. Sign up for alerts.
And you mentioned something specific for Florida.
Yes, good reminder. As of August 1st this year, 2025, Florida has a new permanent sales tax exemption on hurricane supplies. Things like batteries, flashlights, generators, makes preparing a little easier on the wallet.
That's a good initiative.
It is. But the general advice really is don't wait for a storm to get strong or even get a name before you act. We saw shelves empty fast before past storms. And as Invest 93L proved, heavy rain alone can cause major flooding.
That ounce of prevention.
It's worth a pound of cure, absolutely. For real-time info, stick to the trusted sources, nhc.noaa.gov, noaa.gov AccuWeather is generally reliable too, and good mobile apps like the NHC Zone, NOAA Weather, or maybe FOX 35 Weather if you're in that area. Just use official sources.
Okay, so what does this all mean? We've unpacked Dexter, confirmed its thankfully low-impact moving way. But its story, especially contrasted with Invest 93L's floods, and placed against this weird 2025 season low energy but ahead on storm count, fueled by warm oceans. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
The aha moment for you might be that serious impacts like flooding aren't just from big-named hurricanes. It underscores why being generally prepared and informed is so important, always.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, think about this. We have a season ahead of schedule on storm numbers, but below normal on energy. We know climate change makes warm oceans much more likely fuel sources.
Yeah.
So what does this combination tell you about the new normal for hurricane preparedness? It raises a big question, I think.
Which is?
How might we as individuals, as communities, need to adapt our thinking, maybe move beyond just tracking the big name storms? How do we embrace a truly holistic approach to weather readiness in a climate that's clearly changing? It's not just about the Saffir-Simpson scale anymore, is it?
That's a really powerful thought to leave you with. Definitely something to mull over. How do we prepare for the impacts, not just the category?
Exactly.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We really hope this helped cut through the noise around Dexter and give you some valuable context.
I think so too.
Keep exploring, keep asking questions, stay informed, stay prepared, and we'll see you next time.